We did, and I think it's a sign of a team that's lacking a little confidence right now. We missed some shots that we normally make. We had some opportunities to really give ourselves an advantage from the free throw line. I thought defensively we were okay for a lot of the game. We knew their targets, and certainly a couple of their key guys fouling out helped our cause. But by the same token, we had Greg, who was playing really, really well, get into some foul trouble as well. So it was an unusual game in that regard, but one that two very, very desperate teams. I don't think it was championship quality basketball, but it was one that the win was very important for us, given the adversity we've had over the last 4 to 6 weeks. We haven't tasted victory all that often, and as we come down the stretch, it was important for us to get this win to keep our season alive and go back home for a very tough encounter on Sunday, against New Zealand. When we went into the halftime, and Kevin's 1 for 6 and Jason's 0 for 6, and we're 1 for 12 from our backcourt. We cannot win. We cannot win with, well, I shouldn't say cannot, but it's very, very, very difficult for us to get enough points. As good as your defense can be, you got to find a way to get 80 plus. And when you look at our roster and where our points are going to come from, we need those guys on a consistent basis, collectively giving us between the two of them 35 plus. So at halftime, that was a big concern, and a lot of it, we had some good scoring opportunities. Shots that you normally expect guys to make. Jason had a few contested layups at the rim that he normally, he's got to make. And I thought the way the game was being played, I thought a 6 to 10 point margin for us at halftime was about right. Instead, we go in even or a point up, and it's only 3 or 4 possessions that makes that difference. And when you've got such an even competition, those margin for errors are so small that it doesn't take much, and you're going to lose any advantage that you earn on the court.
Drew is a fairly handy shooter in your day. Where do you see Kevin at the moment? Did he hit a bit of a brick wall, or did he fatigue a little bit? Or?
I think it's a combination of things with Kevin, but you saw the MVP Kevin in the second half. Hit big shots, took control, wanted the ball, made big plays, and got it back on track. And yep, it's been disappointing that Kevin hasn't been to his absolute very best. But as a coach, and my philosophy, the way you deal with those types of circumstances where things aren't going quite the way you'd like, is that you got to put the time in, you got to put the work in. And Kevin works as hard as anyone I've seen. He applies himself in the practice environment as good as anyone I've seen. So when you've got a superstar like that working as hard as he does, right now, I'm living and dying by him. He leads the league in minutes played. I'm putting a lot of faith in him, primarily because the way our season's unfolded with our options, we don't have a lot of options. Will is going to be a star. Will is going to be a great player. But he's only 18 years of age. He's got to learn the caper. We're teaching him as he goes. He's learning on the job. So we're asking a lot of Will, and he's delivering. Playing small minutes, playing that 10 to 15 minutes a game, giving our main guys a spell. But we're going to need that to give Kevin a little bit of break as we go. But no matter which way you slice it, Kevin's going to be logging heavy minutes. Kevin and Jason are logging heavy minutes because there's not a lot we can do about it right now.
Brisbane kept coming at you, didn't they? They just
yep.
A lot of injuries themselves. They've got a lot of players playing different positions, but they didn't give up the fight.
No, definitely they didn't. We saw last week against Melbourne, they won big here at home, and we knew coming in here it was going to be a tough game. That a Brisbane team, coached by Lamanis, will never give up, and we knew that from day one, and we came with that mentality, and I don't think we gave up either.
Will Brad be fit on Sunday? Brad Dooley?
No. he's I mean, Truck's his boy. Truck's as close to him as their buddies, roommates, and spend a lot of time together. But unfortunately, he's not right yet. So it's a big blow. There's, 17, 18 points a game that we're missing. Yeah. And it's just not his points. He leads our team in assists. He's a great rebounder, and he can put it to the floor and get to the rack better than anyone else in our team. He's been a massive part of what we do. And unfortunately, I think that's his 4th game he's missed now across the season. It's a big blow to us. And but really proud of Craig Moller over the last couple of games. Came in, hasn't been intimidated, got to the rim, made some baskets, gave him a very tough assignment on Craig a couple of times. He very impressed, and he's a guy that he's a legitimate NBL player that's only going to get better. And he's getting those opportunities because Brad's not there.
It's not an injury you can mess around with the hamstring. I suppose you want to, eyes on the playoffs,
Yep.
just have him back for them.
Well, make no mistake, Brad would play if there was any chance. He's desperate to play. And I've said to him, I said, Brad, where we are right now, if you think you can go and it's worth the risk, now's the time to roll the dice, because there may not be a next week or the week after if we don't get the result. So, and he's fully aware of that. And, we trust our medicos and we trust Brad to make the right decision, because if it's just a worthless exercise, he's going to come in and the thing's going to go, that's just stupid. But we got to get to a point where the risk is a modest risk. If it's a modest risk, we roll the dice. If it's too high a risk, we can't. And from what I've been told, that unfortunately won't happen on Sunday. So we won't have him on Sunday, but we have, and everyone's telling me it's a very good chance, not a certainty, a good chance against Melbourne United the following week.
Just keep winning.
That's all. If we keep winning, I think we should make. We win the next 3. 15 and 13 should get you there, shouldn't it? 14 and 14, you've probably got a chance. And I think you're whistling Dixie if 13 and 15 is. I think that's got a very remote chance. So, hey, but right now we're still alive and we're hanging on, and hopefully we can give ourselves a bit more margin for error with a win on Sunday against a New Zealand team that's playing great. I know they lost against Cairns, were fantastic yesterday. The way they played, they hit shots. They were fantastic against a very good New Zealand team, so it's going to be tough.